Hello, hello, hello. It's another thrilling episode of PROG Review. It's very bright today. Sun's come out. Today we're doing Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders and the London Symphony Orchestra. And that's my watch marking 1 o'clock. I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the chat said, check this out. Have you checked it out? And I went, no. It was on my radar, but I hadn't got around to it because, music. It was originally released 26th of March 2021, but this was released recently. But we'll look at it in a minute because we're going to talk about the music. Well, let's talk about music. Pharoah Sanders, as you know, well, you probably don't know. Do you know? Do you know? He's in the jazz. He's 81 now, but he's a member of John Coltrane's groups and whatnot. He's been play with many big jazz people. So when somebody suggests Pharoah Sanders, I want to call him Saunders, like Colonel Saunders. Colonel Saunders. What am I talking about? I've gone off on one. Jazz. It's the jazz. We don't talk about the jazz. Is a 4-letter word. We don't do the jazz here, do we? So I was a little bit. That sounds like jazz. But I relented. I thought, let's give it a go. It's released on the Luarca Bop imprint, which is David Byrne's record company, I believe. It's written by Sam Shepard, British DJ, who works under the name Floating Points, and their collaboration came when Sanders heard his previous work, and despite the age difference, it's about maybe a 40-year age gap, they decided to work on this. And it's not what you'd expect, or is it? Again, I'm not familiar with Floating Points' previous work or Sam Shepard's previous work, so I didn't know I hadn't read any reviews. I saw the album sleeve and thought, that looked cool. It's, how do you describe it? It's ambient. It's an ambient album. There's a motif that runs through it. It's maybe about 6 note motif that is played, and there's a lot of space, and this allows Sanders to, I assume, improvise his various honkings and tootlings. And I mean that in the nicest way. How do you describe the saxophone? The reedy breathing of the sax. There we go. That sounds a bit more articulate, doesn't it? And it allows him to operate. There's a lot of space. There's an awful lot of space on this. And you've also got there's also string arrangements and synthesizers. The London Symphony Orchestra, who are quoted as being on it, are there doing string sounds. There's also some synth burblings, beddings in it as well. And when I put it on, it immediately reminded me of Harold Budd's Pavilion of Dreams. They share a similar moment, they come from the same place. And I listened to it twice. It's very rare for me to put an album on and put it on again. Mainly because Mrs. Cohn said, you've got to hear this. I don't know if she was into it, but it's very tasteful. Again, especially Sanders' contribution. It is a exercise in restraint, because he could just go. That's me doing a saxophone. Not very good. But he could just honk all over it, but he doesn't. It's very, 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 very held back. It's control. It's total control, and there's a wonderful resolution to it. There is a tension to it. This is the really odd thing. It's kind of ambient music. There is a sense of tension and release to it, especially as the album concludes. But again, spoilers. You go listen to it. I don't want to spoil it for you. I could tell you, and then it would spoil. I think it concludes rather well. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really cool. I think it's very, 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 very cool. And again, old-fashioned, because it reminds me of those old experimental albums that you used to get in the 70s and 80s that used to come from left field, from the ambient, the Eno school, those kind of records. So it's nice when a record comes along. Every year there's maybe one or two. I mean, that one there, can't see it. One that William Cashin did. Again, it's one of those kind of records. There's usually one or two albums a year that come along and go, this is old school ambient work. But yeah, the reason I got this one, I'll show you. This is it's a great sleeve because it's one of those die cut ones. Look at that. How cool is that? That's cool. That I like that. You've got to be very careful. Don't want to rip that. You can see me through. Look. Hello. Ooh. Oh, he's irritating. I'm not gonna unsubscribe. Doesn't matter. Everyone knows that the subscribers aren't watching these videos. It's been statistically proven. And on the inside, you get a little pull-out thing showing the artists in question, which is pleasant. And the sticker, I took the sticker and I put it on there. It says, some people like special colour vinyl. Even though I spelt colour wrong, we made this for them. And they were talking about me. It was like they knew who I am, because it comes in this delightful, I can't even describe it. I don't know what colour that is, but I thought it was really nice. The pressing sounds really good too. There's just so much air in it. It's just, it's a lovely airy, it's a Sunday morning or a hangover album. Not that I ever have a hangover anymore, but what with my feet, it's going to catch on. I completely failed to get that back in the sleeve there. But yeah, do give it a listen. I'm sure it's on streaming and that, if you don't want to pony up the money for the CD and LP. I'll put a linky in the description to Amazon for the micro penny. But yeah, give it a go, because it's delightful. It's a delightful record. I think it's one of those ones that is, I find it quite energising. It's one of those records, and it worked really well. And it's just, again, a very pleasant surprise. Not for everyone, because again, some of you, progressive music is Capes and J.R. Tolkien. It's not that. It's this other kind of progressive music, where music tries to move into a different area, and this is what we've got here. So yeah, those people who like that kind of ambient sludge that I get off to, you're going to love it. The rest of you won't. It's a load of pretentious rubbish. Yeah, what the hell. And so is prog. There we go. We can all agree. But yeah, do give it a go. And again, to see someone who's, blimey, was it 80 years old, still be vital. 81 years. Still be a vital player. It's great. It really is. I really do. Musicians never die. And that's the really good thing about this. So yeah, do go out there and give it a go. So that's that. My name's Darren Rock. I've been talking about Floating Points by Pharoah Saunders Floating Points with Pharoah Saunders and the London Symphony Orchestra. It's called the actual thing is called Promises. I forgot that. I've called it Floating Points. Floating Points is the band, or the working title of the thing. And it's called Promises, and there you go. And there's various movements of it. But yeah, delightful, wonderful soul music. And do go now and listen or buy or whatever. I'm insistent. Okay. Thank you for watching. My name is Darren Locke. We're talking about Floating Points, Pharoah Saunders, London Symphony Orchestra, and Promises. There we go. And that's that. There's only one more thing left to say. By now you should know what that is, and that is PROG.